Hello, everyone. Welcome to Finding the Truth on Fridays. We have with us one of our only Boxtown facilitator and her son, who are going to share who they are and some of their experiences around systemic racism. So please, introduce yourselves.
I'm Diana Sandlin, workforce development consultant and training. So I'm a small business owner, entrepreneur, urban terrain consulting, and I have here with me today my youngest son, Devon Sandlin.
How you all doing?
And as a mother who has two sons, my oldest is 34 and works at Lighthouse Charter School. This conversation always arises at the dinner table. As a parent, you want to make sure that your children are safe. And so having this conversation means trying to make them aware of things that they may not have experienced, but wanting to make sure that when we send them away from the home, that they'll come back safe. And I know because of working at the city of Gary that we have good law enforcement and we have bad law enforcement. And so Devon has had the opportunity of being involved with both. We are both members of Van Buren Missionary Baptist Church. He was in our Reclamation and Restoration Ministries, which means grew up in church, knows the Bible, knows how to be respectful, knows how to talk to those that are in leadership positions. So that part has never been our challenge. Our challenge has been being African American.
Always.
In Northwest Indiana, being an African American in the state of Indiana. When I worked for Department of Workforce Development, I was a business consultant. And I had these these 7 counties: Lake, Porter, LaPorte, Newton, Jasper, Pulaski, and Stark. I had a sheriff that would sit outside of the county lines in Stark County and would watch me go into that county and then watch me go back out. If that's not intimidating, tell me what is. To the point where I had to ask my supervisor for a state car so I felt comfortable traveling around the state of Indiana. So this is everyday life for us. This is not a joke. This is not something to laugh at. This is something that we experience on a daily basis. So Devon, I know you have plenty of stories to share.
Yes, I do. Growing up in Gary, Indiana, I was very privileged and blessed, as she said. I grew up on both sides of the lines, knowing both sides of the lines. I know good police officers, family, friends, close associates of my parents. And as she said, I've had bad experiences too. Here in Gary, down in Vincennes. I went to Vincennes University from 2013 to 2015. I'll start with the good. With the good, I'll say this. We can't let bad apples determine or just generalize everybody. That's not a good solution to a problem. Like that won't get us anywhere. But what I will say is we have to hold people accountable. If we don't do that, then what's the point? When a party I went to down in Vincennes, it was literally just me hanging out with a couple of friends or whatever, and of course it was some drinking. It was a bunch of stuff going on. It's a college party, but basically, the party got surrounded by the police or whatever, and when they came in to ask people, they were only specifically coming up to minorities, and specifically like the males, the black males that were there. And me and two other my friends, we got arrested. Ended up spending a day or two in jail or whatever. They let us out after a 48-hour period. But the officers, they didn't ask the right questions, and it was in my opinion, it was very unprofessional because my what I studied at Vincennes was criminal justice, so law enforcement, and so they teach us literally if you don't have a probable cause or a real reason to be, how do I say, to apprehend someone,
yeah. Okay.
then if you don't have anything to go off of, then it's exactly that. You have nothing to go off of.
Well, just a quick question. Were the other people at the party, the white people, were they doing the same things that you guys were?
Oh, yes.
But they were not arrested?
No.
Okay.
No. Matter of fact, a majority, like I said, they let the majority of the group go. But me and maybe two other my friends who were also black males, young black males, we were the ones who went to jail. And they didn't ask us with the liquor, who bought it. They didn't ask any of those questions, because if he would have, people would have told him exactly who it was. And though the people who actually, did the crime would have did the time. It would have been simple as that. But, I digress from that. Just being black in America is real. It's not, as she said, it's not a game. We work for our lives. Every day we wake up and we go about our everyday lives, and we see law enforcement. Mm-hmm. We get this feeling in our gut. Is today our day? This our moment? And that has to change. Because I have nieces and nephews, I have cousins, I have people who are a lot younger than me who I don't want to experience this at all, and they shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to.
Yep, this is 2020. I separated from my husband back in 2010.
Yeah.
It was 2010. He was entering his senior year in high school. And we lived in Gary, so I moved to Portage. I bought Devon a truck, but I kept it in my name so that he could get back and forth to Thea Bowman Leadership Academy. And 2 occasions I can think of just off the top of my head. He was leaving the apartment complex, which is on the outskirts, very close to Gary, and got pulled over and harassed. And I was getting dressed for work, so I had to stop what I was doing and go up there for a bunch of questioning that really had nothing to do with him
anything,
driving
right,
the truck.
With anything.
So things happen just because we are African American.
Like what kind of questions were they asking you?
Now registration was in the truck, insurance was in the truck,
Right.
but they asked me those same questions all
Right.
over again.
Who's the owner of the vehicle? Even though I've already iterated, it was my mother, and she bought it for me. A bunch of.
And so I had to go up there and basically say the same thing so that they would let him go on to school. So did nothing wrong, used turning signals, stopped at the stop sign, and that was the only thing that was there between where they stopped him and where we lived. It was 2 stop signs.
I make it a point when I speak to people. I always, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. I always give everybody the utmost respect, because that's the way they raised me, So it wasn't any, instance of me being disrespectful or, anything of that nature, I try to keep that to a minimum, because like I said, being black in America, that won't end good for you.
Yeah. Wow. You said you had a couple that were on the top of your head?
Well, those were the two I was thinking
Oh.
about. Just him trying to get to and from school
Hmm.
and being stopped because they thought he had stolen the truck. Even though all the information, we have the same last name. All the information is in my name.
And we've had instances of the same cop, like pulling her over, just
Twice.
her, right, just her driving back and forth to work or us going to
We
church.
were going to church, yeah.
Right.
Got pulled over twice, driving while black. Yeah, yeah.
She wasn't speeding. She's using her turning signals. There was literally no probable cause for why he could have pulled her over.
I was just going to say, you mentioned probable cause before.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So is there anything that you would like to say to end up here? Or?
I think what's happening with the protesting is good. I think it has raised awareness because we keep sweeping race up under the rug. We don't want to confront it.
Yeah.
And until we do, these instances are going to keep happening. And so we really need to get a handle on it now. This is an opportune time. Why
Amen
not
to
now?
that. Amen to that.
We can't afford to let these later generations keep suffering for these same mistakes. That's
I don't want my grandkids going through this.
at all.
Mm-mm.
I have a goddaughter. She's 1.5 years old. There's no way in the world. No, absolutely not.
Wow. Well, I thank you both very much for sharing with us, for taking your time out and sharing with us. I think this is an important conversation that we all need to have. We all need to hear each other's stories and maybe build some kind of understanding and trust. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you for this platform. Thank you.